In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and shiny-suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
And welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I am your host, Vicky Fraser, and this is my co-host, Joe.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
What are we talking about today?
We are carrying on from last week when we were talking about...
the rambly swervy last week.
How very dare.
It was okay.
We were talking about the long yes. It took a long time,
What?
but we got there in the end.
Did we? Right, okay, cool.
Yeah. And this week we're carrying on and asking the question, are you up shit creek?
Am I up shit creek? Which particularly shitty creek are we talking about?
Well, I will explain what I mean in a few minutes. But first, we should do a drink check. I am drinking Krabby's alcoholic ginger beer tonight. Joe, what are you drinking?
I have got an enormous bottle of Peroni.
Cool. Excellent. I've just noticed that Krabby's has the elephant trademark, which is totally awesome because I love elephants. And also, look, they've etched the... not etched, what have they done? They've got a raised elephant on the glass.
An embossed elephant on the glass.
Yeah, an embossed elephant. It's really nice. I've never noticed that before. Have a look at your Krabby's next time you drink one, dear listener.
Gives me indigestion. Makes me feel a bit weird.
Oh, I like Krabby's.
Good.
Cool. Okay, so last week we talked about the long yes, and that leads nicely into this week's podcast, which is an awesome way to keep in touch. So I'm going to start with a different question, a less sweary question for our listeners. What are you doing to find new clients and customers, if anything? Do you have dream clients in mind that you would absolutely love to work with, especially if you're like a freelancer of some kind, like me? Because I've got in my head, or I used to have in my head, clients that I would, I'd really like to work with. Mm-hmm. And I guess you guys do as well. Do you have clients you'd really like to work with?
Yeah, we like to work with slightly clueless, cash-rich multinationals. That's who we like.
Hello, slightly clueless, cash-rich multinationals, if any of you are listening.
Give us a call. We love taking your money. and providing excellent service and products.
I should actually point... I've said this before, but you guys are utterly awesome at what you do, and you're way better than anybody else who does it.
Oh, thank you.
So you should be a bit more organised about your shit, really.
Yeah, we should.
So I'm basically asking, do you have kind of dream clients in mind? Not you. I've just asked you that question. I'm asking our listener.
Yeah, pointing at me and then pointing at the microphone doesn't really make it very clear.
But I'm sure the answer to that question is yes, because we all have like people and companies that we would like to work with.
Sure, yeah.
And even if you're like B2C, business to consumer, and you're kind of, one to many rather than as a freelancer, I'm kind of...
One to one.
Yeah, one to a handful. But even if you're B2C and the answer is a bit more abstract, there's still an ideal type of person that you want to work with. So, for example, if you were like a nanny, then your ideal client would probably be fairly well-to-do families living in fairly well-to-do areas, and there would be specific postcodes that you could target, and they would have to be local to you. And that's a pretty good example I've just come up with there. Nannies.
Cash-rich, affluent areas.
Yeah.
Busy people.
Yeah.
With children and a big income.
Yeah, and there's a very specific type of client that you'll want to work with, and you'll probably as well you definitely want to narrow that down further because, for example, if you were a religious nanny, you'd probably be after a religious family. If you were an atheist nanny, you'd probably be after an atheist family. If you were, if you're a politically left-leaning, you're probably not going to want to work for Donald Trump.
True.
Or, Jeremy Hunt. I actually said his name right then. I did wonder how that was going to come out.
I know you were careful.
I know I was careful. I misspoke his name. Anyway, yeah, so, everybody... So my question is, if you have an ideal kind of... or a specific company or a specific set of people that you'd like to work with, my question is, what are you doing to start working with these people? Because I'm just asking. just casually, because my experience is that very many business owners, and I used to be one of them, I'm sure you remember this, say that they want to do X, Y, and Z, but they don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's not just business owners, that's everybody. That's people.
Yes.
And we're all like that sometimes. And we all know people who are always complaining about the same thing all the time.
Yeah. Change it, fix it, do something.
Oh, but it really does my head in, because you know, they'll be like, oh, I wish this was true, or I wish that was true. And they say it over and over again. And then you say, well, what are you doing to make this happen? And they just kind of look at you blankly. And it's crickets.
Yes. What's your plan? Haven't got one. It's going to stay like that then, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really frustrating because, and I know how difficult it is as well, because, you know, it's difficult to change. Change is hard.
But you should, shouldn't you? I mean, if you take a second to just have a think about what it is that you say and how you behave, if there is something that really bugs you and repeatedly bugs you and keeps bugging you, like the way I'm saying bug.
Yeah, that's really annoying. I'm going to change that by slapping you.
Then yeah, you should have a look at yourself, decide what it is that you're not happy with, and then do something.
Yeah, because I got really annoyed that because I used to run a lot, didn't I? And I got so that I was kind of running, I wouldn't say regular half marathons, but I could do them with no trouble, and I was doing them in 2 hours, which is not particularly fast, but it's not slow either. And then I just stopped running because I just got out of the habit, because I'm at heart a big lazy trout. But it's really annoying because it takes months to build up a decent running fitness, and it takes quite a lot of dedication, and it takes 2 weeks to lose it. And it's really irritating, and I just got more and more annoyed, and my arse got bigger and bigger.
Massive. Massive. Sorry.
Are you apologising to me or them?
Yes. Yeah, whoever is most likely to be offended. That's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not massive.
Anyway, it got to the point about 3 or 4 weeks ago where I was like, Joe, it's kind of got its own gravity and it's dragging me off course. And it was, you know, when something swings from side to side, like a pendulum.
All these poor people out there are now fixated on pendulous buttocks. That's not good.
I feel like I should also point out that I'm like a size 10 dripping wet, so it's not like I'm a great big fat bastard. And there's nothing wrong with being
a big fat bastard.
Either, but for me there is, because that's not what I'm comfortable with, so... Anyway, we seem to have wandered off on a tangent. But my point is that
we're just talking about your arse.
I was getting really pissed off with the fact that my fitness had gone down. So I was like, well, what am I going to do about this? I was like, there's only one answer to that question, which is to go running. Yeah,
sign up for a half marathon and then
I have to run.
You have to run.
Unfortunately, I signed up for a half marathon a little bit. And the only reason I signed up for the Hampton Court Palace half marathon is because the bling is awesome.
The medal you get.
Yeah, the only reason... Oh, man. It really irritates me when you do a half marathon and your medal's crap.
I have done one half marathon in my whole life, and the medal was crap.
It was the worst medal I've ever had.
It was like a little red round thing saying, British Heart Foundation.
Yeah, which is a really good cause.
Which is a great cause, but why are they so bloody cheap?
It was not a cheap half marathon to enter either. It was like 35 quid each, and they could afford a better bloody bit of bling than that.
Selfish.
I know.
Selfish.
But the Hampton Court Palace one is awesome because it's got like these medieval dudes on the end of a medal, which is basically what I'm doing.
Henry VIII or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. And they're kind of multicoloured, and it says, by the way, if you're a runner and you want to, if you're in America, you probably already know this, but if you're a runner and you want to get real proper good bling, go to America and do their races because they know how to do the bling. You get like dinner plate sized medals, which I fully approve of.
Yeah.
And, you can go on about waste, and I'm a bit of a tree hugger, and when it comes to running races, I don't give a shit. I want a big piece of bling. But I'll never do anything with it except look at it and go, that's so awesome.
Right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah. Direct mail. That's what I was going to talk about.
Direct mail.
I kind of wandered off the subject.
There was this whole Shit Creek thing.
Yeah. Yes, that was... Yeah. Okay, so I know a dude who's a copywriter dude, and he once wanted to work with a particular CEO of a particular company. So he wrapped up a canoe paddle, an actual full-size canoe paddle, and FedExed it to the dude's office, along with a note that said, "Are you up Shit Creek?" And then, inviting him to have a meeting and all the rest of it. Do you think he got the meeting?
Yes.
Hell yes. And he actually got the work as well. He won the client as well. And my point with this is I'm not necessarily, by the way, suggesting that you send a canoe paddle to 100 people because that's a crazy thing to do. But if you've got one specific person that you want to work with, and this contract was worth tens of thousands of pounds over the course of a couple of months to him, so it's well worth spending a couple of £100 on a piece of direct mail if you're going to get that kind of return on it.
Have a plan, have a strategy, and get on with it.
Yeah, and that's the canoe paddle thing is an extreme example, but you can do stuff like that. Find out. I mean, people have information everywhere. Find out what somebody's interested in and send them something amazing. And by the way, if anybody wants to work with me, I love elephants.
Don't send us an elephant.
An actual elephant, no.
No. We can't house an elephant.
No. But I also love, circus stuff and books and... Anyway, chocolate. My point is, you need to get and keep people's attention. And one of the best ways that I know of to do that, one of the best returns on investment that you get for doing that is direct mail. It is absolutely awesome. Not junk mail, because junk mail is the shit stuff that you throw in the bin that doesn't catch your attention, doesn't keep your attention.
Light fires with it in our case.
We do light fires with it in our case. In fact, some of it's not even good for lighting fires with.
Yeah.
It doesn't burn properly. So yeah, don't do crap stuff. But a well-executed, well-planned direct mail campaign is great. And I rarely see them. I rarely get anything good through my door. I used to get really good stuff when I worked for Rosper.
Mm-hmm.
I once got a tiny miniature mug the size of my thumb, which is utterly pointless, but I love miniature things. And so that
Which is lucky.
Yes, it is. And so that was amazing because I got a miniature mug the size of my thumb. I've still got it somewhere. It's utterly useless for everything.
Who did it come from?
It was a promotional company. I think it was ASP.
There you go. So that was a few years ago and it worked.
Yeah, I don't use them mine because I use Mo at Club Row Creations, who is awesome. And he sent me a free mug, and that is my tea mug. I don't have tea in any other mug. That's that black mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my Mo mug. So anyway, but yes, I rarely get anything good through the door. And the best thing that I've had recently is from a carpet cleaner who's clearly got an amazing marketer or copywriter, because it was just great. Or he's probably studied Joe Polish, actually, who is an American dude who's made himself a multi-millionaire through carpet cleaning, and he now teaches people how to market their carpet cleaning companies. He's awesome. If you run a carpet cleaning company or any kind of a marketing company, actually, have a look at Joe Polish's stuff because he knows his shit. So yeah, my suggestion to you today is to make a list of the top 100 companies or people that you would like to work with if you're B2B. If you're B2C, make a list of kind of the characteristics, but be really specific. So postcodes and, where you're going to find these people. And you can get lists for B2C, but for B2B, you're probably going to concentrate on, because I think most of the listeners are going to be B2B. Mm-hmm. Make a list of the top 100 companies or people you would like to work with, and then make a direct mail plan. Don't just send them one thing. Send them several things, at least 9 contacts you want. So you might want to start with a lumpy mail thing. So you put a grabber together, so something interesting or fun tied into the letter, at least, if not to the actual subject. So, if you're a carpet cleaner, you don't have to send a bit of carpet.
No.
Or whatever. But, something to get somebody's attention. I once worked with a client who we sent a set of handcuffs to clients because I think the headline was something like, and I wrote it and I can't quite remember. It's something like, "Are you shackled to crap service?" or something.
Right.
But that was kind of one of the starting lines. So you have to tie in whatever you send to whatever is in the letter.
Who doesn't like receiving handcuffs in the post?
Well, it got there in touch. That campaign, by the way, it was a massive campaign. There was like 15 contacts, and it wasn't just me and my copywriting and my marketing ideas that got her the results, by the way, because she had a really good sales team and followed everything up with sales calls and all the rest of it. But within the first 2 weeks of us doing that campaign, I think she pulled in £500,000 worth of business.
Right.
So, and that, that campaign cost maybe £15 to send each. It's kind of a no-brainer, really. And we sent it to 100 people.
Yeah.
So £150 worth of mailings.
And £500,000.
Yeah. And that was just within the first 2 weeks. And this was like a 10-week campaign.
That's worth doing.
Yes, it is. And this is my point. We're going to talk about this a bit more next week. So I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent now about return on investment. But what I would like you to do is make a list of your dream clients and put together a 9-step mailing campaign.
Okay.
I did this with my inner circle a few months ago, and it's Chet Holmes's Dream 100 idea. This is not my idea at all. This is a marketing guy called Chet Holmes, and it's his thing.
Vicky Fraser reading the books, so you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people don't bother reading stuff, so... And now you're listening, and you're going to hopefully make a list of your ideal customers. It doesn't have to be 100. It can be like 20 or 50 or whatever. But put together a series of mailings to send to them. It might be you start off with like a crazy lumpy mail thing. I don't know, you might send someone a bottle of beer or a packet of biscuits. I don't care. Send them something with a letter and your offer and all the rest of it. So follow all the usual, copywriting rules. Follow that up with a postcard a week later saying, did you get my thing?
Did you enjoy your biscuits?
Did you enjoy your biscuits? Follow that up with a phone call. Follow that up with another letter.
Cool.
Containing an article or something that they might find interesting. Basically, keep on at them until they buy or die or tell you to knob off. Because they will do one of those three things at some point.
Right.
And if they, you've got nothing to lose at all, what are you going to lose? Somebody either phoning you up and saying, please stop sending me these crazy things, which is, fine, whatever. Or they're going to ignore you, which is, fine, whatever. Or they're going to buy from you. Woohoo!
Yeah, in which case, a packet of biscuits and a couple of phone calls and a letter or two.
Yeah, it's mental. It does require an investment up front.
Sure.
It's not free. It's one of the more expensive ways to do things if you're going to think of it like that. But it is one of the absolute best things you can do because most people don't bother doing this because it's hard work.
It's got to be the targeting, isn't it? You can't kind of go, I would like to send a packet of biscuits to every family with with adults between the age of 20 and 45 in the West Midlands because that will cost you £1 bazillion and the postman will just eat all your biscuits.
Yes.
They will steal your biscuits. So
not our postman. Our postman's great.
No, he's a very good man. I like him. But yeah, you need to be really targeted with it because otherwise you're just going to spend too much money and you'll be hitting the wrong people with the biscuits.
Yeah. And think it through as well because don't do what I did a couple of years ago when I got really overexcited about the whole idea of the Dream 100 thing. And I was like, I'm going to target accountants. And so I made a list of accountants and then without making any further plan at all, I sent them all a scratch card. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember how many replies I got?
Was it not many?
It was one. But so that cost me probably 300 quid. Yeah. Which is, it's not that much money to spend on learning how to do it properly because I learned that you don't just send one thing, you keep following up. And actually I'd realised that that was not my right target audience. So I, buggered the whole thing up before I'd even started. But the point is, I did something and I learned from it. And now I'm telling you so that you don't have to make my £300 mistake. Mm-hmm. And, that was genuinely rubbish. You got to do this stuff.
Yeah.
You got to fail a bit.
You got to feel the pain.
Got to feel the pain. And I am the queen of pain. No, that sounds wrong.
That did sound a bit wrong.
Not that kind of pain. So, yeah, really, what I'm saying is come up with something cool. Send it. What's the best direct mail you've ever had?
Best direct mail I've ever had? God, I don't know. I'm not the recipient of good direct mail. I've had some squishy zebras.
Oh, and one of them is on my desk right now.
Squishy zebras, awesome. They're quite nice.
Yeah. I've had a power bank.
Yeah, that was all right.
That was pretty cool. I use that sometimes. I've sent a magic set on behalf of a client. I don't do an awful lot of direct mail on my own behalf because, like I say, it's really good for getting private clients, and I'm working with more private clients than I can handle at the moment. I've got a waiting list. So I'm lucky now. I don't have to do that because I work on word of mouth.
Yeah.
People recommend me, and that's the ideal way to do it. Actually, no, I do send direct mail. I send my Business for Superheroes Gazette, my 4-page newsletter out every month.
You do? To people who've bought the book?
To people who've got a copy of my book. Yeah. By the way, if you've got a copy of my book on Kindle and you don't receive this newsletter, drop me an email with your home address and I will put you on the list and you can get into the club. It's groovy.
Nice.
Yeah. And I do a competition every month as well. I send someone a random book. It could be anything.
Usually useful.
No, not for the business. Well, all books are useful because you should always read. But I've sent out Stephen King. I've sent Terry Pratchett.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it is cool. So yeah, I've sent some really cool direct mail. I've received some really cool direct mail. My friend Mo, who runs Club Row Creations, who, by the way, if you want to do some direct mail campaigns, get in touch with me and I'll put you in touch with Mo because he does all of my gubbins that I send out. So when you join my inner circle, you get a box full of goodies, and two of the things in the goodie box come from Mo. He sorted out for me.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. He's lovely to cuddle. And he does this campaign for his own business, which is lapsed customers. It's his lapsed customer campaign. So people that have stopped buying from him for whatever reason. And he sends them a branded boomerang in the post.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of cheesy, but it says on it, "I want you back." And so, if you want to carry on being a customer of ours, send the boomerang back to us. And so they don't really want it back. They want the customer back. They don't want the boomerang back. And that usually has a pretty good conversion rate.
Nice.
So that's quite cool. And then he follows that up with a couple of letters and a couple of bits and pieces and a postcard and whatnot. And then after a few contacts, he sends them a little miniature rubbish bin with a letter that says, "Since you're ignoring all our mailings, I thought I'd save you the trouble and send you the bin to put it in." And that usually scoops up a few more people. So, when you've got a really well thought through direct mail campaign like that, you can do really, really well in bringing in new customers, but also in re-engaging old customers. Plus, it's really good fun.
Yeah.
You can send absolutely anything. You go online and have a look at promo things, and it's all pens and bags and things, and they've got their place. But think a little bit wider than that. I was desperately trying not to say think outside the box then, and it physically hurt.
Run it up the flagpole and salute the blue envelope or whatever it is.
Salute the blue envelope. Haven't heard that one.
Pushing envelopes. Blue sky
Look,
thinking.
open the kimono.
Ew.
I know. That's a phrase that I actually heard, and it's really grim, opening the kimono. But you could send somebody a kimono.
No.
Well, you could.
Well, you could. But then you have to tie them back to that horrible phrase.
No, you could. Well, yeah, probably. Send them a beer, Matt. Send them a
beer.
Send them beer, yeah.
Everybody likes beer.
I like beer, yeah. If anyone wants to send me beer, that'd be cool. I like Old Hooky, which is a local brew. So yes, what I would like you to do is, if you've got a list already and you know their home addresses, send them a direct mail campaign. If you don't know their home addresses, get their home addresses by offering them something that they need to give you their address for. So for example, for me, I would just offer them a free copy of my book, which I might do. If anyone wants a copy of my book, let me know.
Send us your address. We'll send you a book.
And then I will mark it at you until you buy from me.
There's a threat.
Or tell me to piss off. Either way. But yeah, if you've got a list, send them a direct mail campaign. If you haven't got a list, make one and send them a direct mail campaign.
How do we make a list?
How do you make a list? Oh man. Just offer people something in return for their email address.
Okay.
Or in return for their postal address. I'm about to start running a campaign. Well, I'm not. Ben's going to do it for me. But he's about to start doing a campaign for me, which will be basically a buy my book campaign. So anybody who buys my book, I've then got all sorts of details about them, which is ace. And they're quite highly qualified leads as well.
Yeah.
If you can get people to opt in for something like a book and read it, a book is an amazing thing. Really good for referrals as well, by the way, which I'm going to do a podcast on referrals at some point, because that's really cool. Because that's where most of my business comes from.
Yeah, referrals.
Yeah, that's where the best business comes from. And you need to have a system in place, which I don't, and I'm putting one in place at the moment. So when I've got that sorted, we'll do a thing on referrals. But for this week, send people stuff. Send people cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff.
Make a list of the key people you would like to be working for, whether they are real names and addresses or whether they are concepts of people.
Yeah. And then find out how you can actually physically send them stuff, and then send them stuff. And if there's like a handful of people, 5 people, then really go to town.
Yeah, frighten them with the things you send.
Yeah, don't send them like super expensive stuff, because it then wanders into the realms of dodgy gift giving and people are uncomfortable with expensive gifts. But you can go mental with crazy stuff like, the canoe paddle thing, or, a box full of
frogs.
Don't send people a box full of frogs through the post.
Okay, don't send people frogs.
No.
No livestock, no animals.
Oh, I think Ollie once sent somebody a massive box with holes punched in it, saying that there was a guinea pig inside, and there wasn't a guinea pig inside, but he said there was. You could do that.
Right.
I know somebody else who sent rugby balls. But yeah. Anyway, that's all really for this week. If you want ideas, by the way, go to www.tinyurl.com/DM-cat-litter. That's www.tinyurl.com/DM-cat-litter and watch what this cat litter company came up with. Is awesome. Cool. They sent out a direct mailing that was aimed not at getting the attention of cat owners, but at getting the attention of cats.
Nice.
It was catnip infused postcards.
Cool.
And it worked really, really well. So go and have a look at that. And in the meantime, next podcast, same time next week, and we're going to be talking about, I don't know what we're going to be talking about. ROI, I think.
ROI?
Yeah.
That sounds dull.
No, it's not.
No?
Well, I'm going to try not to make it dull. I might change my mind in between now and then.
Yeah.
We might end up talking about unicorns or something.
That sounds better.
ROI isn't boring. ROI is amazing.
Okay. I will look forward to it next week then.
Good. If you'd like a copy of my book, go to businessforsuperheroes.com and order yourself one. It's very good, I'm told. If you'd like to join the inner circle, go to businessforsuperheroes.com/inner-circle and join us. And I'm told that it's really cool. I had a really nice testimonial the other day. A useful one, not just oh, Vicky's amazing. It was a good thing from the lovely Sally. Thank you, Sally. And we will see you next week. Thanks, Joe.
No worries. Thanks, Vix.
Bye.
Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues, tell your friends, send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.